place looks not very fun. Very hot.
That's...
Ganymede Castle. Stronghold of Lord Balsef. Self-imposed ruler of all Calaglia.
I've never seen it from this close before.
That's it, all right. And next to it are the gates of fire. Take a good long look while you still can. That wall is what we've come to tear down. The only thing standing between us and freedom.
Freedom.
Let's go.
Never had freedom before. I thought we were trying to escape from the raid that was happening. I didn't know we were just going to move straight on into the let's go attack the enemy base camp or whatever.
Be careful. If you get close to a Zoogle, they'll attack.
Okay, so don't die. Okay, so yeah, you can just have auto battle, which has always been a thing. Yeah, and semi-auto, if I'm not mistaken, you get to push the buttons, but you don't... When you push a button and you're not close to an enemy, your character will auto, move over to the enemy and then do the attack that you did. I don't know what's...
Here I go.
Control while in the menu. Okay, yeah, let's go with manual.
Charging off like that.
I don't know how much I gained. Oh yeah, I see my health below now. I don't think that was there before. Yeah, all I saw was the diamonds.
One final push. Right, give them all we got. Rising Wyvern. I'll run you through. See ya. You're mine. Here I come. It's over.
It just has a habit of making you
I'll run you through.
look away from the enemies sometimes because you fully control the camera.
That was almost too easy.
I like the results screen. That's kind of cool. You immediately get right back into the field, although that was definitely a wider arena than we were standing in, I believe. I'm going to pay a little more attention to the next time we go into a fight. I think it was just a little bit bigger than this. That was one of my big complaints, actually. Yeah, now I remember. That was one of my big complaints about Exilia and Zestiria and Berseria, is because they would immediately drop you into the fight like wherever you were. All the walkways and hallways and everything where enemies were always super wide because they always had to be able to accept a fight happening in them. So maybe that's why they've changed back a little bit. You're still fighting in sort of the same area you were in, but maybe they're making it a little bit bigger and trying to hide it from you somewhat so you don't notice it. That might be what's happening here.
Don't fight any enemies you can otherwise avoid, all right?
Makes sense.
No, I'm gonna kill this golem.
Normally I don't pick on the weak. How's this? I'm not done.
What makes you think I'm gonna run away from a fight?
Circle and bring him down. Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Take this! It's over! I'll run you through! That is coming!
This guy's bad at fighting. He keeps getting hit.
Slash! Take this!
Here I go. You're mine.
Yeah, I don't know why we needed to avoid that fight. We were doing fine.
I can feel my power growing.
Who left his treasure chest in the middle of this burning hallway?
This is...
Seems you found something good. Supplies like that are valuable. Never overlook them.
Got it. I'll remember that.
It's interesting that in previous games, if I'm not mistaken, what they've done with all of the recovery items is they're not like a set value of health. They're always a percentage based, which actually ends up helping because apple gels are just as useful at the beginning of the game as they are at the end. They do 30% health. At the end of the game, they still do 30% health. But I'm seeing a specific health value assigned to these, which makes me think that apple gels are not going to be quite as useful near the end of the game. Antidote
What
rock.
a weird stone.
I sense a strange power from it. We should gather as many as we can find.
Yes, let us collect all of the strange rocks we find along the way. And just store them in our pocket.
Let's stop a moment to catch our breath.
But I've barely worked up a sweat.
Speak for yourself. What do you want, a medal? Doesn't look like we're being followed. Fail to grab these rare moments of quiet when you can. You'll end up regretting it later.
You're the boss.
They're going to teach us about setting up camp and restoring your CP? Because they did mention that earlier a little bit. Camping out, HP and CP.
Normally, we should take turns standing guard. But this first time, I'll watch over things so you two can rest easy.
Okay, so I guess if you just ever want to access the downloadable content at literally any point in time, you can, I mean, you could do it from the menu, but I guess you can also do it while you're camping. I don't really plan on buying any of these things, but I guess if you want our character... Oh yeah, spoiler alert, he's got a real face, which we'll probably see later on. Does kind of spoil some of the characters, but then again, I did see them in the intro cutscene, so it's not quite as spoilers. And then these are other characters that we'll see, so I think we're good on that for now.
I've never just sat and watched a fire like this before. It's surprisingly soothing.
Well, aren't you getting comfortable? You realize there are still Zoogles prowling around out here, right?
Ah, don't be a spoil sport. It's important to let your mind and spirit relax. Does you a lot more good than you might think.
Okay, so I can look at any skits I've seen before, but as I've seen them before, I don't really need to, so that's interesting. Zephyr's teachings? What's that?
Zephyr,
Zephyr?
why aren't you concerned about who I am?
You feeling left out, son?
No, it's not that. But
You said you wanted to fight so that you can live a free man. At this point, that's all that matters. Even if it somehow turned out you were a Renin, it wouldn't be such a big deal.
a Renin?
Until we know who you are, we can't rule anything out. Besides, we've already got Shion with us. At this point, what's one more Renin as long as they're on our side?
So you don't see every Renin as an enemy?
Our goal isn't to hunt down and kill all Renins. We only arm ourselves as much as we need to set ourselves free. If you can believe it, not every Danon agrees with what we're doing either.
Are you saying we have enemies among the Danons?
Not quite. They're just not up for rebelling, per se. The thing you have to remember is that everyone has their own path to walk.
I'm not sure I understand.
That's okay. Just focus on what we have to do right now. However, the time will come when you'll need to decide what to do for yourself.
Okay, I guess we have more skits to look at, so we'll just keep looking at them until they're all done. Iron Mask missing core.
How come you don't have a scar on your hand?
A scar? What do you mean?
The Crimson Crows all tore off their own spirit cores, right? But your hand doesn't show any signs of ever having a core like theirs. Why not?
I don't know. I don't remember anything about myself from before Doc found me.
Seriously? You have that mask, you don't feel any pain, and you just happen to know how to fight with a sword? No way. You must remember something.
I'm not lying if that's what you think. Believe me, I wish I knew who the hell I am. But I don't. It's funny how I didn't have any time for soul-searching while digging up rocks in a mine.
Still.
Are you saying you've told us everything about yourself?
Zephyr.
It's bad manners to pry when you've got plenty to hide yourself.
You're not gonna ask me about my past too?
Only when I think it's necessary. You're a real man of mystery, I'll admit. That said, I'm not one to dig around in someone's business just out of curiosity. If you remember something and feel like sharing, you're free to do so. For now, I think that's good enough.
Right. Thank you.
There's some more. I guess this is probably going to happen anytime we set up camp in, like, a new area.
So, this whole you not feeling pain thing, is that for real?
Why would I lie about it? And why would you care anyway?
No, it's just... You know, I can't imagine what it's like, that's all.
As a slave, I'd say it has its advantages and disadvantages.
Oh?
On the upside, when Renan soldiers push me around, I hardly flinch. The downside's that I get injured without even noticing. Which means I could be knocking on death's door and not even realize it.
Really?
Sure. I may be numb to pain, but it doesn't make me immortal or anything. Still, I wouldn't have noticed any of this if someone hadn't pointed it out to me. If not for my fellow slaves, I'd be long dead, lying in a ditch somewhere.
Alright, that's all of them. Display party status. Okay, that's our health, right? Yeah, because the circle with the 6, that's our experience, I would assume. The green bar is going to be our health. SP. I don't know what SP is off the top of my head. They may have told me that. Okay, resting time.
A Master Core, huh? Now I see. So that's why Balsef's cronies were so desperate to catch her.
Is that what it's called? The jewel in her chest?
Oh, right. You don't remember a damn thing, do you? Fair enough. Guess it's time to fill you back in. Tell me, you ever wonder why we Dahnans are made to work ourselves to the bone, day in, day out?
Well, when you put it like that, I always just assumed we were mining resources for them.
And don't you think it'd be quicker if they used all that high-powered tech they have? Why go to all the trouble of relying on weak human labor? Listen, what the Renans are really after isn't resources or minerals. It's astral energy.
And that's what the rocks are for, right? In the hands?
They're harvesting the astral energy that sleeps
okay.
inside all matter in life forms. And they're doing it the same way they have for the past 300 years, using us Dahnans as mere siphons.
Right. They have machines for minerals, but extracting from Dahnans requires spirit cores. Any astral energy collected passes through a spirit vessel on its way to being stored in a master core.
But why go to the trouble of collecting all this energy in the first place? Do they really need all that juice just to use astral arts?
It determines the Sovereign.
Sovereign? Is that the Renan ruler?
Exactly. 5 lords, each doing whatever it takes to gather as much astral energy as they can and store it in their master cores. Whichever of them manages to accumulate the most power at the end of their contest is crowned the ruler of the Renan motherland. A new crown contest, as they call it, is held every decade or so.
So you see, the Master Cores are the receptacles in which the Lords store their power. And we Dahnans are sacrificed, so the Renans can choose their new ruler.
That's insane! You're telling me that's what our people have been dying for this whole time?
Relax, hero. You're not the only one who's bent out of shape about the whole thing. There are 2 things that I haven't been able to get my head around yet. What business would a Renan have stealing a Master Core? And what's the deal with that blazing sword?
I think the sword is a physical manifestation of the Master Core's astral energy. As for why it took the shape of a sword, well, I don't know any more than you do. Honest.
And that stuff about needing your permission to use it? What was that about?
I'm the only one of us who can control the Master Core to some extent. Without me to adjust the flow of astral energy, the sword can't take a physical form.
What do you want out of this? You may be one of them, but you don't strike me as the ruthless oppressor type.
I'm going to take down all of the lords.
Never thought I'd say this, but I like the cut of your jib, Renan. Very well. As far as we're concerned, the struggle continues either way. And with that sword on our side, our chances of victory just increased. That is, of course, assuming we can count the two of you in.
Fine by me. After all, it sounds like we're after the same thing anyway.
Honestly, I'm still a little confused by all this. But if it's a choice between this or going back to being a slave, then I choose to fight.
Then it's settled. Together we'll overthrow the Renan Lords. And first up on that chopping block is Balsef, the wild beast. Sound good?
I've gotta hurry.
We have another secret hideout in Ulzebek, not far from here. We should be able to meet up with our comrades there.
We really stay the night in this burning wasteland? Guess so. Okay, so we're not immediately going for the castle. I was gonna say, like, aren't we trying to escape right now? Why are we immediately transitioning into let's take out the ruler of this land with just the three of us? So I guess this makes a little more sense. I feel like those scenes kind of happened a little out of order. Like, we should have had this scene first, where we sort of gathered our mutual goal together and why we're sticking together, and then said, okay, we're going to go take them down, but first, let's go over to this neighboring city. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Oh.
Hey, watch where you're going.
It's okay. I think there's definitely an area we can go down to. Is that a fish? I just got a fish.
We should be able to eat this. Whenever you find some, make sure to grab it.
It's edible, huh? Good to know.
Definitely.
It's got some sage there as well. I'm just kind of trying to see if it would even let me do it. Just jump off the bridge like that, and in fact it does. It does feel a tiny bit cel-shaded in some ways, at least. Kind of feels like there's like a good solid outline in some of these things I'm looking at. Not like super cel-shaded, you know, like Borderlands or any of those other kind of very cel-shaded games. It's not quite that extreme, but it does feel just a little bit, especially on things that are a little more distant. The way it kind of, not way distant, but like that pillar right there has a little bit of an outline to it. Also, do we have another skit?
Cut it out. Didn't anyone ever tell you it's rude to stare?
I know I already asked you this, but are you sure we haven't met somewhere before?
What's so hard to understand? I'm Renan, you're Danon. There's no way. Besides, I'm from Lenegus.
Lenegus,
Trust me.
okay.
Wherever you were before you lost your memory, we've never crossed paths.
Lenegus? You mean the same Lenegus that's up in the sky? I've heard it called the Renan's Castle, but I never imagined people actually lived up there.
Well then, where did you think we all lived? Didn't you see the Renan Lords descend for the crown contest?
And how long ago was that?
Well, the current contest started 7 years ago, so...
Then I wouldn't remember.
Just how far back do you remember?
About a year, give or take. That's how long ago Doc found me.
1 year. Then no. I'm sorry, but there really is no way we could have met.
Guess not.
I'm sure that's important. I'm gonna have to try to remember all these names. Dang
We're
it!
so high up.
Hey, watch where you're going.
Did it again. That one wasn't on purpose. I'm thinking the smaller one is the Lenginus. I'm gonna struggle with these names for a while. Oh, you can press shift to climb faster. Okay. It's good to know. Let's see if he says that line again. No? Oh well. Gonna make some bread later. I guess this didn't always just go careening into a cliff. It probably connected to something that way. Oh, is that an optional boss up there? Kind of looks like he might be. Maybe we'll go try to fight him and then get absolutely destroyed.
That is one enormous stray.
I don't think we can take it right now.
Don't know about that. We're gonna go try. Okay, so... we can save at any time. That's kind of cool. No special save points like in some of the previous ones.
We've almost made
maybe
it to
there is.
Uzbek.
Alright, let's go beat him up. We attack him from behind, get a started battle bonus. Level 43. We're gonna get destroyed.
We don't have much choice.
You're mine.
Here I come.
He died, you see that? He's already dead.
Rising Wyvern. Mirage.
You're mine.
Yeah, we're doing like 1 or 2 damage to him at a time.
Rising Wyvern. No.
Nope.
Can't end here.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Resuscitation.
Not done yet.
Don't bring back our friend over there, though.
Rising Wyvern. It's over. You're mine.
Nah.
Mirage.
Look how... he's got 21... 9,000. That's way too many. It is cool that they kept the music from previous Tales of games, though.
Done yet.
Oh, I can't flee because this is my fault for
Stay
doing
away
this?
from my friends.
I can't flee that way. Stay away from my friend. No, we're just gonna die. This isn't even like a, oh, you know, we're clearly under level, but I could get through it eventually kind of thing. Like, that is... I'm literally doing 1 damage after doing like 21,000 damage. Okay. Okay. So it does... okay, so it costs us CP if we just all die like that.
I'm not done yet.
No. No, we're good. Let's leave that guy alone. Yes, that definitely used up a bit of our CP, but I think we'll be okay. The CP is an interesting mechanic where you all share a pool of health regeneration. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about that. I don't immediately hate it, but I just find it a little strange. But I guess they really just want to get rid of MP as like a... or AP or whatever you want to call it, as a concept.
Normally I don't pick on the weak.
Okay, so we are definitely in a separate arena. It looks like we're in that arena. I believe that I fought that big boss at.
I'm only getting started.
I'll run you through.
Or more or less. Looks a little different.
Mega ray.
How's this? I'm not slut. Pathetic.
You know, I think I'm okay with it. I did like the idea in the previous games. Hello?
Woohoo! Woohoo!
Woohoo!
That's an unusual bird.
It's an owl. They're often used as a symbol to represent ancient Dana.
I liked the concept of having a battle like on the field and just having it insta-start right where you're at. But, like I said, the big problem with that, especially in the last two games, but also in Exilia as well, although Exilia had a problem where the field maps were too big. I never quite figured that one out completely.
You're not giving up now, are you?
No.
Yes, please.
To let it end like this.
That's what I want to hear. Raise your sword. Rising
Here I go. I'm only getting started.
Swallow
Here,
blade.
let me help.
Here I come.
First
You're
aid.
finished. I'll run you through. The targeting shield.
Here I go.
Rising
I
light.
probably need to go and help her out.
Here, let me help.
You're mine.
I can't heal you forever.
I'll run you through. Rising
Yeah, because we're out of CP now.
Try harder. Cannon. Here I come.
Go. Mega
Rising
ray.
wyvern. Mirage. How's this? Here I go.
You won't be able to cast healing or support arts. Okay, so yeah, they're telling me I need to get more CP.
Everything's coming up, Zephyr.
Yeah, I guess this is a better option. Having field maps that look relatively normal, rather than this area, like, this might be large enough for an arena battle, sort of, but like if we had a fight up here or something, this would just be too small. And I know there were little areas like that in the previous games where that would happen, and then you just have like a weird, awkward battle in a really small corridor, but most of the time. Okay, so orange gels have now, instead of MP, now they're doing CP.
What's this thing?
But I guess this is a better solution. Even though fighting where you were was kind of neat, I don't think it was necessarily integral to the experience. And it allows you to have normal-looking maps that aren't just ginormous, like, warehouse-sized hallways everywhere. Sorry, I know I spent a lot of time talking about that. You see, that would be way too small of an arena to fight in well.
I'm on it.
You're mine.
You're finished. Touch cannon. Mirage.
Excited. You're mine.
Take this. Rising wyvern. I'm on it.
Excited.
No escape. Rising.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Make sure you pick up all the cool rocks.